In a quiet town on the edge of the forest lived a young woman named Emily Carter. After her grandmother passed away, she inherited an old house filled with antique furniture and hidden secrets. Among all the strange things she discovered, one object drew her attention more than anything else: a large mirror. Its silver frame was carved with mysterious patterns that looked like eyes, staring at her wherever she moved. On her very first night in the house, Emily uncovered the mirror in the upstairs room. She stared at her reflection, and at first everything looked normal. But then she realized something strange. Her reflection blinked 1 second later than she did. She laughed nervously, telling herself it was just fatigue, but then she felt a cold shiver pass through the room, as if someone was watching her. Days went by, and the mirror's behavior grew more unsettling. Sometimes her reflection wore a faint smile, even when her own face was completely still. Other times she caught shadows moving behind her in the glass, shadows that vanished whenever she turned around. One night she woke up to find the mirror glowing with a pale blue light, pulsing as though it was alive. Then came the whispers. One evening, as Emily stared into the glass, she heard a faint voice, soft but unmistakable. "Emily, let me out." Her heart raced. This time her reflection didn't mimic her movements. It stood still, staring directly into her eyes, lips curling into a sinister grin. Terrified, Emily searched through her grandmother's old boxes. Buried among dusty books, she found a stack of letters. They spoke of the mirror, calling it the veil of shadows, a gateway to another world, one that should never be opened. The final line in her grandmother's handwriting read, "Do not look too long. Do not trust the smile, for it is not your own." With trembling hands, Emily placed the letters back, realizing the truth. The figure in the mirror was no mere reflection. It was a dark entity imprisoned behind the glass, waiting for the chance to take her place. Each night it grew stronger, feeding off her own life force. The smile, the whispers, they were all signs of its power growing. As the days grew shorter and the nights longer, the mirror became a portal for the darkness. Each night, the cold seeped from the glass, chilling Emily to the bone. Sleep offered no escape, for in her dreams, she saw the grinning face from the mirror, its eyes burning with anticipation. Then one night, the veil between the worlds grew thin. As a full moon hung heavy in the sky, the mirror shimmered, and the figure beckoned with a finger. The voice echoed in her mind, urgent, demanding, "Let me out, Emily. Let me take my rightful form." Fear threatened to consume her, but a strange calm replaced it. The entity was right. It was time for her to leave. Emily stumbled back, knocking over a chair. The crash echoed in the silent house. In the mirror, the figure snarled, its eyes flashing with anger. But the change had already begun. Glancing down, Emily saw her skin shimmering like moonlight on water. Her fingernails lengthened, curving into sharp talons. Panic surged through her veins, but she forced herself to remain calm. As the first rays of sunlight touched the horizon, the transformation reached its peak. Emily stared at the mirror, her reflection now a creature of pure darkness, its eyes blazing with unholy fire. The transformation complete, the dark entity turned from Emily, its attention drawn to the window. With a fluidity that was both mesmerizing and terrifying, it glided towards the glass. Its form rippled, reshaping itself, stretching and contorting until it broke free of the mirror's confines. The moment it stepped into the room, the sunlight caught its form, causing it to shriek in agony. It stumbled, thrashing about in a vain attempt to regain its shape, but the daylight was too strong. With a final desperate cry, it collapsed, dissolving into a cloud of black smoke that drifted towards the window. As the first rays of sunlight touched the horizon, the transformation reached its peak. Glancing down, Emily saw her skin shimmering like moonlight on water. Her fingernails lengthened, curving into sharp talons. Panic surged through her veins, but she forced herself to remain calm. As the first rays of sunlight touched the horizon, the transformation reached its peak. Glancing down, Emily saw her skin shimmering like moonlight on water. Her fingernails lengthened, curving into sharp talons. Panic surged through her veins, but she forced herself to remain calm. And as the sun rose higher in the sky, the dark entity that had once lurked in the mirror became nothing but a fading memory. And with the rising sun, so did the chilling smile on Emily's face.